Dr. Grace, tell us about what's going on with Benghazi this week. Some amazing turn of events.
Well, Carl, during these Obama years, it seems like every time I'm on, there's bad news. But at least this week, we can report that so many of us who fought for the truth in Benghazi have been vindicated. So we get some good news.
Okay.
This week, two major events. You had 450 pages of previously classified documents that have been declassified. It's all the behind-the-doors testimony on Benghazi. And also, a Senate panel, a bipartisan Senate panel, put forward their report. When you combine all the evidence that has come out, this is the result. It is very, very clear that the State Department was warned repeatedly that there was not enough security for the ambassador at the compound in Benghazi.
Right.
You had General Carter Ham, who was the head of AFRICOM, and George Bristol, a Marine colonel. They both testified that they notified the State Department repeatedly about the situation. And the Senate report says that this attack should have been prevented. And the Senate report squarely blames the State Department, and you know who was the head of the State Department at the time? Hillary Clinton.
Wait a minute. The Senate report doesn't blame a video?
They don't blame a video. In addition, Carl, this is the other piece of incredible information. We now know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, the individual reports coming from the ground were clearly that the compound was under attack.
Yeah.
And the Defense Secretary, Leon Panetta, was told within 15 minutes of the commencement of hostilities that it was a terrorist attack. He testified that he had a meeting subsequently with the President of the United States, and he told the President that it was a terrorist attack.
Wow.
So the President has been caught in another lie.
No, Grace, Grace, you're a racist.
She's a racist.
You're a racist.
That's all there is to it.
You're a racist, Grace. I'm telling you, I don't know if I want you back on. You are a racist, a blatant racist. You're one of those Canadians too. Are all of you Canadians like that?
I'm one of those people pursuing this quote unquote phony scandal, right, Carl?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Tinfoil hat racist.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what's also just amazing. Remember how the mainstream media has not wanted to cover this? Nope. Folks like you and I, Carl, and a lot of us on the right have kept the issue alive. And now even NBC, Brian Williams, headlined his report saying, the Senate has reduced a bipartisan report saying that the State Department is to blame. It's a scathing report. So the mainstream media has had to eat crow on this.
Well,
and there's more. Senator McCain was on the Senate floor blasting the New York Times because the New York Times recently came out with a report basically whitewashing Benghazi. So I think that there's multiple pieces of good news. Yeah. We've all been vindicated in everything that we said about Benghazi, and the mainstream media has been following our lead.
Yeah.
So to lots of people who say, look, I kind of feel hopeless during these Obama years, I say, look at what we've achieved. The truth has come out on Benghazi. Let's toast to that.
Right, let's do, and let's keep going forward.
Well, and we're seeing that time and time again. Dr. Grace, think about this. We, the people, by speaking out, that's why we're not dropping bombs in Syria right now.
Yeah. Yeah, think about that.
Absolutely, absolutely right. We do have an impact. We do have an effect. And we are, bit by bit, unmasking this man. His poll numbers continue to drop, and that's because we're beginning to paint the portrait.
Yeah.
It's death by 1,000 cuts. He lied about health care. And now we know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, now it's there in black and white. It's not just everybody crying foul. It's actually there in testimony by Leon Panetta saying he knew right away, and he told the president right away. Now, the question is this. How do you get from, Mr. President, we've been attacked by terrorists, to going in front of the American people, telling them that a spontaneous demonstration was the cause of this attack? The answer still hasn't been given to us because that narrative, it didn't come from the ground. So the next series of questions then is, well, who gave the president that narrative? Where did it come from? The next step is, who fed the president that? Where did it come from? Because the president then lied to the American people, and as a result, he won re-election. So we have all been defrauded of the election of 2012 because the American public made their decision based on faulty information that the president gave them. His re-election campaign was premised on the fact that he had decapitated Al-Qaeda, that Al-Qaeda was on the run, and instead, very close to election time, it was clear that Al-Qaeda was alive and well and had dealt a devastating blow to our national security.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Grace, listen, we're going to have to take a quick time out, and this is amazing. And you know what? You were talking about how we were unmasking this man. Grace, you and I talk off the air a lot, and you know where I'm going with this, but just wait till March. I mean, Zullo and Arpaio have stuff that makes Benghazi look like just child's play. I mean, it is unbelievable. And now I think people are going to respond because now we know that the man and the people around him tell lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. And it's unmasked. Like you said, it's right before us. Benghazi, Obamacare. I mean, it's right before us. So when Arpaio and Zullo bring what they're bringing, I think America's ready to hear it now. And I think they're going to say, you know what? I believe that.
I think the American people no longer trust them, and I think it's we're ready to hear what you have to say. We're ready to hear what Zullo has revealed.
Yeah, and you used
has discovered, that is. Yeah, we're ready to hear what he's discovered.
That's right. And you used the word vindicated a moment ago on Benghazi. Well, we've been vindicated on a lot of things. The birth certificate, that's romper room stuff now. As constitutionally important as that is, it's romper room stuff. That's been 1,000% vindicated. That's what I tell people. But what else is coming down the pike is way bigger than that. So